Ants you do want to boil though because they have acids in their body, and you also want to make sure they're dead because they can bite you, and the last thing you want is your food biting you on the way down. That's not pleasant. I have eaten a tarantula in Cambodia, and so when I ate it was crispy and it had an egg sac. That was not my favorite meal. You know, really, I feel like spears are such a useful tool for killing robots in survival situations. Zombies, robots, and of course, those wolf attacks that happen in every survival situation. Hey guys, I'm Kinga Philipps, happy to be back with Gamology, trying to survive in the gaming world. And like I always say, keep a positive mental attitude, and if you absolutely have to, eat your friends. All right, grounded. So we are shrunk down to mini us's, and we are taking stock of our situation, which is the first thing that you want to do in any survival situation, especially if you're shrunk down to nothingness. I mean, you were already collecting things. Let's see, mushrooms, I would generally stay away from those. There are a lot of plants that you can eat in a survival situation, but the key with plants is always know what you're eating, because plants, especially mushrooms, can kill you so fast. Ooh, you made yourself a spear, look at that. That is handy for finding food, for protection. You never know what you're gonna meet there. You're picking all kinds of greens, lots of grass, lots of roots. A lot of that stuff is edible. You're gonna climb up on the baseball. This is great. That baseball is gonna give you a vantage point so you can take a look. There's home, look at that. And there's a device like probably what shrunk you. Oh, there's your office for the shrunk down of us with a computer and everything else. I mean, that's useful in a survival situation. You could maybe Google your way out, at least check the weather, maybe Amazon Prime yourself some clothing. Ooh, plant fiber, this is good. You can make things out of specific plant fibers. You've got a bunch of rocks. You could use those defensively. It looks like a water droplet. Dew is actually a good place to get water. And of course, if you were this big, that dewdrop is gonna be like a lake for you. I'm seeing a lot of stagnant water on the ground there. Don't drink that without boiling it. Standing water is a no-no. Groundwater, you're gonna wanna boil as well. You just killed yourself a fly. Flies are edible. Actually, insects are a really good source of protein. If you're in a survival situation, fish and insects are probably your best source of food because they require the least amount of energy to eat. Greenery, gravity, ground are the three ways to find water. Got lots of greenery, so you know there's gonna be water there. It's a good thing. Ooh, there's a dewdrop. That's some good water for you. The size you are, that's gonna keep you hydrated for quite some time. Oh, look at that. You've got a spear. You've got glasses. You could use those to start a fire in a pinch. You're well dressed. You don't have any outerwear, so if it gets cold at night, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have shelter. Again, bugs are a great source of protein, but you wanna avoid anything that is really brightly colored, because in nature, that's like, warning, I'm gonna kill you. And you also don't wanna eat anything really hairy, like caterpillars, and you wanna look at things that are eating specific plants. Like monarchs will eat milkweed, and you don't wanna eat milkweed because it's toxic. Fiber bandage, oh, that's good. Yeah, a lot of plants you can use for medicinal purposes. You could use them to help wounds. It looks like there's some kind of bioluminescent mold there, sending all kinds of beams. Ooh, clover, clover's good. You can eat clover. The interesting thing about clover is in warm environments, they actually produce cyanide. In colder environments, you can eat them in the flowers, but white clover you do want to be cautious with. There's some fancy scientific stuff happening here. You're actually using slime mold, the bioluminescent slime molds, or you're using that for light. This is good. Making rope out of plant fibers, it's a really good thing. Certain plants like cattails are really excellent for fibers. You can also use them as torches because they have that fuzz on the top. You could use them as tinder. You could use them to stuff your clothing. Looks like you have a little bit of shelter that you built there, like a little one-leaf lean-to. Have a roasting spit. This is good. A roasting spit is a good way to cook meat over the fire. You always want to cook any raw meat to kill off any bacteria. Bugs as well. You definitely don't want to eat bugs raw because they are going to have parasites and bacteria. That's gross. You don't want the poops and vomits in a survival situation. It's going to dehydrate you, not fun. So it looks like dinner is served with a gnat roast, roasted and delicious meat of a gnat. Maybe have some friends over for dinner. Look at that. Oh, look, trash is your friend when you're in a survival situation. An environmentalist in a survival situation is gonna hate the trash, but also love it because it's gonna offer you things like plastic. You could make water stills out of that. You can gather water, but as an environmentalist, you're gonna hate that plastic. What's this? Going down deep. Looks like some kind of a lab. I'm guessing this is why you're shrunk. Somebody shrunk you, didn't they? So I guess your job is to unshrink yourself. Well, this looks like a good place to start. Ooh, a cassette tape. Someone made you a mixtape. I'm always talking about making friends out there in a survival situation. I don't know that a robot is your best choice because robots can sometimes be evil and want to kill you. But if it's a friendly robot, that could really just up your emotional game significantly, although this guy does actually seem like he's trying to kill you. But look at you, you've got your spear bound by cordage or plant fiber. You've got some kind of an arrow tip there, possibly made out of flint. This is good. You know, really, I feel like spears are such a useful tool for killing robots in survival situations. Zombies, robots, and of course, those wolf attacks that happen in every survival situation. Ah, you got him.
Suck it, ladybug.
You don't want to eat a ladybug, but ladybugs are very good garden critters. Looks like going to war with this ladybug. He's a bit of a tank. I mean, at that size, those wings are like shields, which probably is what you're going to use it for if you do manage to kill it. Go to the underbelly, that's the soft bits. Get him in the soft bits. Take those wings. They basically seem like they would be a turtle shell. So you could use that to capture water. You could maybe use it as a shield. Oh look, now we have a bow and arrow. This is great. Again, your weapons are only as good as your ability to use them, but you look pretty proficient there with the bow and arrow that you made. Bow and arrow can be made in the wild with plant cordage, with animal parts, with flint for a spearhead. Did you just make yourself a grenade there? Sure looks like you did, and you're taking out that bug. Garden bugs are really aggressive. Who knew? Ants are good to eat. Termites are good to eat. They actually taste like carrots. Ants you do want to boil though because they have acids in their body, and you also want to make sure they're dead because they can bite you, and the last thing you want is your food biting you on the way down. That's not pleasant. Ugh. Okay, so this is my Achilles tendon, spiders. Snakes I'm fine with, cockroaches I'm fine with, spiders I can't. They are not my favorite. So kill this guy. I have eaten a tarantula in Cambodia, and so when I ate it was crispy and it had an egg sac. That was not my favorite meal. Okay, just kill the spider, you guys. Just kill the spider. I'm getting anxiety. Yeah, decapitate that spider. Ooh, what's this? Did you build this? Are those leaf steps? Fancy you. Here's the difference between surviving and thriving. In a survival situation, you're really just trying to survive. In a thriving situation, you just built yourself a house with like cloverleaf roof. Go you. It's delightful. Talk about a greenhouse. That's gorgeous. I don't think I'd ever want to be unshrunk. I just want to live there. It's like a treehouse made out of leaves. But this is great. You've got shelter so that you know you are protected from the elements. All that grass is going to be nice and waterproof. Got flowers outside. You can really enjoy that view. Keep the spiders out. Ooh, nobody likes spiders. Could even use some of that spider silk. At the size you are, that's great cordage for you. Super sticky. Maybe you could use it for a trap. Catch yourself some food. Could be a spider. Think like a spider. Catch yourself some insects.
Let's build those floors.
I mean, this guy or gal is like, why am I gonna build myself a lean-to when I can just build myself a palace in the backyard? Clearly this person is planning to be here for quite some time, having decided they will not get unshrunk anytime soon. They have now built themselves a gorgeous mansion complete with light fixtures, probably made of slime mold. Adding more roof structures, more layers, that cordage and that binding, possibly plant material, or maybe they utilize that baseball from earlier. Way to utilize things.
I kind of like it. Now, I need a door.
But shelter is a great thing, obviously, for protection from elements, keeping your body temperature up and at a healthy level. Also, there's the emotional benefit of shelter where you just feel safer. You feel safer from the elements, you feel safer from predators, you just feel a little bit more protected. If you are in a real survival situation and you want to build yourself something fairly quickly that's going to keep your body temperature up, a debris shelter is probably one of the easiest things, and then you want to have a layer on the ground of leaves and pine and anything that you can find to keep your body temperature from being sucked out by the cold earth, and then you want to pad it. So you burrito yourself into this little debris hut with very little space around you so that your body heat warms it up. But again, this situation, no debris hut necessary because you have this beautiful home. All right, guys and gals, that was awesome. That was grounded. I mean, you were surviving in your backyard, but who knew there were so many things out there that could get you. And if you want to watch more Gamology videos, head over to Facebook and YouTube. Anytime. Hey guys, I'm Kinga Philipps. Happy to be. Always remember, in a survival situation, the rule of threes. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Don't cross it or you might die.